I am joined by none other than India Taco. India is a fashion designer, seamstress, drag performer, and a member of the Mississippi band of Choctaw Indians. So, India, I met you probably in like 2021. You were kind of new to drag, and you were with Honey Blunt. Honey had come over to record a song, and I was just mesmerized by your talent and your softness. And as I've followed you over the years, you've gotten louder and brighter and bolder. And I wanted to bring you on. So thanks for joining me.
Oh my God, thank you so much for having me. Like, literally, Zach, you are literally an inspiration, honestly. Well, even when it comes to like my drag, I think of like what you do as an artist. Like, look at these paintings you do. And honestly, this wasn't the outfit that I was gonna wear for today. I have not finished it, but you have a portrait where it's like a red background and it's nothing but sticky notes and smiley faces. And so last night I was cutting up so many yellow fabric and making like rhinestone smiley faces. So you'll see it pretty soon. But I made an outfit inspired by you. I was gonna wear it today, but you know what? You know, some things are better for other days. So I think we're gonna save that we're gonna put it in the vault right now.
Yeah, we'll do it on another episode, like a return episode.
But you know, exactly. Like I remember sitting on this same couch with you, right, seeing you and Honey Blunt making this track for her War of the Roses number, and just seeing how quick you can do things so fast is so iconic and so unique about somebody, because you know, if you have talent and ambition, then you automatically get straight to it.
I do.
A lot of people don't have that. No shade. But the people that do have it, they automatically want to go straight to it. And I just want to say you are very inspiring.
Thank you so much.
To the art community, to my drag as well.
Thank you. That means a lot. I want to talk about your drag. So you made this.
Yes, I did.
Talk about what goes into Talk about.
So yeah, I actually want to do a podcast myself and call it "Let's Talk About It."
Yes, I love that.
It'll come very soon. You all. It'll be soon.
Yes, I would definitely listen to that. It would be the podcast with two E's.
Two E's. I think it would. My podcast would be. I don't know. We'll just like talk out of our asses type shit, because I don't think about what I say. I literally just spit whatever out, and if it comes out offensive, then I apologize. I didn't think of it. I didn't think about it before I said it, you know, but
that's what editing's for.
Thank you.
Yes.
And I just feel, but I also think of life as an SNL skit.
Oh yeah.
I don't take things seriously. And so when it comes to like life, I just like think of it as an SNL skit where it's supposed to be serious, but it's funny as hell. It's hilarious. And I feel like that's where I want to be too. So I want to like in life, I want to be on SNL.
Yeah. I learned not to take life seriously from RuPaul. I've been a huge RuPaul fan. I watched his masterclass, and he was the reason I started sobriety, actually, because he said everything changes once you get sober, and he's just been such an inspiration to like take life easy, follow your colors, follow your tribe, and really connect with your authentic inner child. Would you say through drag you've evolved as a person?
Very much so, because when I started drag, I just thought of it as a hobby. I just thought of it like as I saw it on TV, let me give it a try. And then as I continue my drag on, I learned so many life lessons. I learned so many things that, you know, I should have learned as I was growing up. And because of drag, it's shaped me to become a better person, a bigger person as well. I still live in a Peter Pan syndrome mindset, but because of drag, it's helping me become much more mature in life, making me become more serious, even though I don't like seriousness.
Yeah.
But you know,
to at least take your craft more serious.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And part of that was also designing and sewing and making things. And so, you know, if you really want something, you either can go buy it or you can make it. I used to be chunkier than this, but
Same.
you know, during the plus size, you can't find something that everybody else is wearing. You have to like basically go out your way and get that, or you have to make it yourself. And so that's when I was like, you know what, I can make that just in my size. So that's when I started like watching YouTube tutorials. I went to a master class in downtown Memphis where they were doing sewing lessons. So I took a sewing class, and then after I only took it for one day,
Yeah.
and then the rest I was like, okay, I feel like I know the basics. Let me go ahead and just like continue on learning on my own. And so for the past 2.5 years, I have been sewing, and it's crazy that I've gotten so many opportunities with sewing. We're off topic. We're supposed to talk about
No, this is on topic because like fashion design and sewing is such a part of your drag, and I do want to talk about those opportunities. Talk about. I know that you started doing stuff at Playhouse. What was that like?
So I actually applied for Playhouse after seeing my drag sister, my gay brother Jimmy Rosenhaven.
Yeah,
He's an incredible talented performer, and I just love going to his house when me and Honey go visit him. We just smoke a blunt, smoke a bowl, go around the house, and he's just on his piano just performing the hell. I'm just like, you know what, I can just lay on this fucking and just like listen to you just sing. Yes. But because of him, he was performing in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and Wizard of Oz, and those were actually my first theater productions I ever seen. I'd never been to like a theater to go watch a play and anything. I just thought, you know, I'm gay, but I'm not that gay. But now I am not that gay. But now I am that gay now.
Yeah.
And so I was just sitting on no shade Playhouse, love y'all, but I was in the audience and I was thinking, these outfits could be just a little bit better.
Draggier,
you know, much more. I feel like, do they even have a gay up in there?
Right.
And so like that's when I started like sending in my portfolio of all the outfits that I've made, and then I went straight to emailing the costume director, and didn't hear nothing for about 6 months.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I get an email, and it's she's saying, hey, just found your email. We see that you want to apply. Would you like to come over and check out the costume department and talk about wanting to become an overhire? So right now I'm an overhire, but I basically still work there.
Yeah.
But
you put your foot in the door.
Yes, you know, and because of that, like doing costume designing, costume working, and at the Playhouse, it's making me much more appreciative of all the hard work that I've done, of all the things that I've made for you know, a small local people, a couple people out in the States, and I'm just very I'm not trying to overwhelm myself with this position because, you know, things can happen real quick, but for now I'm just like keeping my excitement in, because you know, I'm young. We're both young. We have the whole rest of our lives together, and so in the future, I want to like either go forward with becoming the director, or working somewhere like New York or LA, or work for some, or even have my own brand.
I could totally see that. So speaking of your brand, I know you went through a rebrand. So when I met you, you were Ariella da Vinci.
Ariella da Vinci.
Ariella da Vinci, sorry.
Ariella da Vinci, Ariella da Stinky, Ariella da Vinci, Ariella the big.
All that. So you changed your name to India Taco, and I know that is connected to your Choctaw Indian heritage. So talk about your name and then how that's connected to your heritage.
So India Taco is a play on word of Indian taco. Indian taco is a indigenous dish, which is basically like a deep fried biscuit. I would call the frybread, because the frybread is the base, and I would definitely call it like a deep fried biscuit. You just like flatten it and you just put in some grease, let that shit sizzle, get golden brown, which is why I'm also golden brown too.
Oh, there you go.
And yeah, that's our indigenous taco basically, and I've always had that name for somebody. Like if I had a drag child, because I was okay with Ariella da Vinci. When I had that name, it was a mixture of Ariana Grande and Cinderella. But I did not know that Ariella was already a name. And so I was watching like movies, and they were saying Ariella. I was like, okay, well maybe that name is a name. And then Da Vinci, you know, everybody has like an iconic last name, and I was like, okay, I don't want no fashion last name like Balenciaga, no shade, or any kind of like drag dynasty. I wanted to start my own. So
Yes.
that was back in 2019 in Starkville, Mississippi. And
Shout out to Starkville.
Starkville, yes. Oh my God, please.
I didn't know you saying Starkville. I went to Mississippi State.
Really?
Yeah, I think we probably just missed each other.
Yeah. So I came literally right before the COVID.
Okay.
In 2019, and I was doing shows at Rick's.
Yeah. Rick's. Oh my
yes.
God.
And then,
That's when I first did drag, was at Rick's.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, look at us.
Yeah.
And so with all that, I'm so high. Oh my God. Where am I at?
No, I get it.
I sold the blunt before I came here.
You were talking about Da Vinci.
Yeah, Da Vinci. So like when I was doing drag in Starkville, Mississippi in 2019, my name was Ariella da Vinci, and I felt like that was the name for me to start out with. And then I've always had India Taco in my vault for so long. I wanted to have it for somebody, or if I were to change my name, it would be India Taco, because also when I was Ariella, everybody thought I was Hispanic as well, and I was like, let me find something to make it seem much more indigenous and much more me, because no shade, I love my Hispanic people, and sometimes I feel how you say it, honored to be called a Hispanic,
Right.
but if I think about it, if we really think about it, I think Hispanics and Indigenous people are all connected already. And so like I would just love to like have the Indigenous representation and like show that to the world that we are still here, that we are still living. And that's why I just decided to change my name to India Taco, because I wanted to like mimic something that's my heritage, me, my favorite food, and something that's a pun, because drag has a way of like putting words into like a name.
Yeah.
What was your drag name?
Oh my God, it was Jenny with a G.
Jenny with the G. Oh my God.
Because my grandma is Jenny with a J, and I love my grandma and wanted to like use part of her name, so it was Jenny with a G.
Gorge.
And my first show, Shangela was there, and my second show, Mariah Paris Balenciaga was there. And then after that,
I think I do remember this. I remember this show. This is when I started coming to. This is when I was going to East Central Community College in Decatur, Mississippi, and then I went straight to university, and then that's when I noticed that there was drag in Starkville. Watched it, and then that's how I started. Was when the director that does the shows messaged me on Instagram out of nowhere. Was like, hey, I love your makeup, love what you do. Do you want to do a show? And I was like, I've never done a show before. Don't know what that is. She was like, well, you just come on in and watch it, and we'll see what you do. No, we'll see what you think. And I was like, watch it. And I think that was probably your show that I've seen, probably.
it was like 2014, 2015.
Oh. Yeah, I was not in Starkville at the time.
Yeah. But I only did 2 shows, and I was like, this is too much work. I don't want to shave my arms all the time. What keeps you going in drag? Because it is like one of the hardest art forms, because you're combining aesthetics, performance, concepts,
humidity, this heat.
Yes.
Literally, even with this mask, I'm boiling up. But it's the dedication, and it's the love that I have for it. What I keep going with drag is that it really is. It's not a hard question to answer. It's really not a hard question to answer. Drag has paid my bills. Drag has shaped me and become a better person. Drag is like the sister that I needed growing up in life.
Aww.
And I want to thank all the people in my life because of drag, because of you, because of Honey, because of my sister Nancy, because of everybody in my whole life that I've created in drag. And so I feel like if I can, especially with Memphis too, I love Memphis. Memphis is like
Me too.
People talk shit about Memphis so much, and
It pisses me off.
and that's because they make it like that.
Yeah.
I come from a small reservation, and this is what I wanted. I wanted the lights. I wanted the big scene. I wanted the big city. But the way I see Memphis is the way people see New York. People see LA, the city is a city, and that's what I love about it. And you know, many iconic people came here from Memphis. Like
So many.
I was doing my makeup saying, bitch, I'm GLO, bitch. I was saying
Exactly.
Glow. I'm so excited for her to come here to the forum because
Yes.
if she doesn't meet and greet Glow, you better do a fucking meet and greet because like literally, I will give her my card. I'll be like, hey girl, straight from Memphis. You want something from Memphis? I'll make you something, girl. You want some iconic, girl? Here's my card. I will definitely do all that. I will tell her how iconic she is.
So you were talking about growing up on the reservation. What was Little India like growing up on the reservation? What was that experience like?
Very love you, mom. Very life lessening, a lot of life learning, a lot of growing up early. I'm adopted, and I'm so grateful that my mother had adopted me and like took me in. Well, also my dad too, but rest in peace. He's not with us, but he's with me in my heart. But from the age as a child, I remember like living with my grandma majority, and then when my grandma passed away, I had to stay with my aunt, and my biological mother didn't basically want to take care of me. And so like I was learning at a young age how to like start taking care of myself, to start knowing that if my own mother didn't want me, then who's gonna? It was very depressing. Literally. And then my adoptive mother took me in, and especially my dad too, and they showed me the love that a child should have. They gave me the love that I needed, and they showed me to become a much more better person, knowing that even though somebody didn't want you, somebody is always going to be there for you. Aww. And so that's why I love it to do for my friends too. Like even though I might not be there, I'm always going to be there for you. And then I started then during my teen years, it was like they kind of knew that I was gay.
Yeah.
But it was kind of hard for them to accept it. We had our ups and downs, I could say. Me and my adoptive parents had our ups and downs with that. But growing up during those teens, there were so many times when I was like wanting to run to a bigger city, to a place that I knew that understood me, that wanted me, to let me know that I do matter. And I think that was when I came to when I actually went to Starkville and met Honey and I met Drew. And
you found your tribe.
I found them. No, they found me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was literally like a little dog just walking down the street. You know, ASPCA didn't even want me. And then Drew Jones is like, "Oh, look at a pretty puppy. Oh my God, it's got rabies. We'll take care of it."
Yeah, exactly.
And so because of them as well, they also show me the way of love as an adult as well. You know, you have your childhood friends, and then you go into life and you finally found the adult friends that's there for you that you needed.
Yeah.
And so I was happy to meet them, and then I stayed on the reservation for a little bit longer, worked at the water park, at the casinos, and then
Geyser Falls.
Gotcha.
I was
I started as a lifeguard, then I went to the front of the house at the restaurants, and then I became a server over there. And then I literally was sitting there thinking, you deserve more in life. And so that's when I started like visiting Memphis more. I started, my first time here was for a Todrick Hall concert. He was
That's pretty gay.
Yeah, he was here for the Straight Out of Oz, his second tour. And I was like low key kind of like, it's like the Wicked song One Short Day. You know, you just like see so many things that you didn't think that you would imagine to see. Even Bill Street was so fucking amazing to see, even though it's just a freaking street.
Right.
And so like you just like, that's when I was like, you know what, I deserve to be in a city. I deserve to be in any kind of, I deserve to show who I am without being like judged. Or gladly enough, I was not even bullied.
Nice.
I feel like I did get into an altercation with an ex, and we started like physical fighting right out in the public. And I feel like people say they say I won, to be honest.
Right.
And so with that, I feel like I gained respect because they show that I'm not to be fucked with.
Yeah, you're scrappy.
Yeah, and I don't, and I only show that out if I have to. You know, I don't do it like point a gun on you right there and be like, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
Like I literally want to like understand what you have to say first, and if you're really like, even if you touch me first, that's when the alarm goes off. I'm like, okay, bet, let's go, ding ding ding.
Yeah.
And so, growing up, going into my adulthood, I've been here for about 5 years in Memphis, and I do miss the reservation. I do miss home. I do miss my mom, my sisters, and my niece and nephews. After growing up, I'm missing out on their journey growing up as well. But pretty soon, the way I think about the res is like, hey, the res is gonna be home. It's always home. It's always gonna be there. You know, you can always go back.
Yeah.
Whenever you're ready. You know, it's not going nowhere. And so, right now, like I am very satisfied and very happy here in Memphis.
Good. How do you stay connected to the reservation and your indigenous culture? How does that influence your creativity?
Well, first of all, representation really matters to me because, like, and it sounds cheesy to say, but you know how people say, I'd never seen myself on TV.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen people I have seen people like me on TV, but they were white.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they were all people who had to play indigenous people. And even Pocahontas is even a whitewashed Disney movie, and I love Pocahontas. I even like do Pocahontas for like family events when I do drag.
Yeah.
And even though people are not agreeing but with Pocahontas, I still see the positive in it. Like, you know, they're at least trying to like.
That's all you had growing up.
Exactly. I remember this one movie called Billy Jack. I forgot who was in it, but that was another old Western indigenous film that I remember that had real indigenous people in there. I think so. Don't get me wrong. But with the tribe and my drag, I do as much as I can to like show that we are still living here. We are still here. Even when I do pageants, I come on the stage. I'm like, Halito, Sahan Chifaya India Taco Hina, the native supreme Allah, Chimichukma. And then I go into translate and be like, hi, my name's India Taco, the native supreme. And so I try to like incorporate my language as well. Even when I'm like exiting, I'm like, Chimpisalajage, Yakoke, which means we'll see you soon. Thank you.
I love that.
And I don't speak my language fluently as I should because, you know, as you can as you've also probably heard that our language is probably dying. We are dying. Our culture and our peoples are also becoming extinct as well. And it's crazy, like even in the voting polls, even in the news, they call us others rather than indigenous or Native American.
Yep.
We're just like left like chopped liver basically. And so because of media and all that, I try my best to like represent who I am and put my culture right in center. To show that, hey, we have somebody who's representing. That's me. What's up?
Yeah. So with like indigenous ceremonies and rituals, does that factor into your drag?
Crazy enough, we don't really have those kind of like ceremonial things. We do have powwows. We do have every summer. And on the second week of July, we have the Choctaw Indian Fair, and that's when we play our World Series stickball game, which is something I play as well. I'm the only team that I've ever played with was Beaver Dam. That was my team growing up, and I'm still for Beaver Dam, even if they win or not. But and then we have traditional dancing. We'll show you how we demonstrate it and how we dance to it. We'll have workshops to make rabbit sticks or bow and arrows, are also like shooting arrows with like, you know, bamboo trees and all that. Basically, we're teaching you how to hunt as well, because rabbit stick is basically like a stick, a thick, skinny tree that you throw at a rabbit, and that's how you catch it. And then we'll have like our storytelling. We'll talk about how the animals got their ways, how my favorite story I love to tell everybody here in Memphis is how the possum got his tail.
Okay, tell me.
Okay, so there was this beautiful possum with a beautiful, beautiful bushy tail, just flowing, 30 inches, bust down, looking good.
Yeah.
She came straight from the salon.
Yeah.
And the raccoon was a tad bit jealous, But raccoons are always, known to be mischievous, always known to like get into shit. And so, out of curiosity, the possum asked, "Oh my God, I love your tail. How did you get those stripes?" And then, the raccoon tells the possum, "Well, I layer it with leaves and I put it on top of a burning ash, and then I let the smoke turn my fur black." And so she decides to do that. Doesn't realize that she's really burning her tail off. And so she takes off the leaves and realizes that her beautiful long 30-inch bust down is like come off. Like she just put nair on that shit basically.
Jealousy.
And so with those stories, it comes off with a life lesson as well. Like basically that's saying don't be like everybody else. Because consequences of what happened. And because she wanted her 30-inch bust down to be fucking striped up as well, she was like her consequence was that she lost it. Yeah. So that's how the possum got his tail. And also comes with a life story as well too.
Yeah, I can see how that factors into your drag because you're very unique. You're the Native Supreme. So my favorite question to ask artists is, what would be your dream project?
Definitely my own brand, my own fashion brand. Not just fashion, but also makeup. Because I started off as a makeup artist before I did drag. I always wanted to be that person to succeed in something in beauty, because in high school I would do people's hair in classrooms, making them gorgeous and shit. Gay. I was the only gay.
Oh, really?
In high school. And that's why I feel like I was never bullied, because people respected me. And also, Two-Spirit people is also respected in Indigenous culture as well, because I am an Indigenous Two-Spirit person. I love my masculinity and I love my femininity. I have my goatee and my beard, my mustache growing back as we speak. Being Two-Spirit really shaped me much more into loving myself, both masculine and femininity. And so with all that, like, not just fashion, not just makeup, but just my name as well too, hence the brand. But I don't want it just like that. I want to work hard for it.
Yes.
I want to show people that, hey, I've started from the bottom and now I'm here, as Drake would say.
Yeah.
And so and also to see my people succeed. I know you're already succeeding as well. What, 3 fucking books, already on a book tour, performing with Gaga.
Yeah. Oh my God, I would love to work with Gaga. I think the world of you, and I'm so glad that I've got to see you grow so much from that shy India sitting on my couch, and now you're so boisterous and loud, and you're bright, and you've hosted shows, you're doing costume design, you're making your own fucking face kini. Like, I really want to thank you for coming on, and you are such an inspiration. I know people watching this will be inspired by you, so thank you so much.
No, I think I really appreciate you, and I thank you so much, baby. Like, you're doing you're doing something that I want to do too. I want to do a podcast. I want to do like a YouTube channel and all that. And because I'm gonna go home and like buy a camera and like start my own shit now. I am so living as a drag queen. You get off work, you hang out with friends, you go to a show, and then you get drunk and you wake up and you're so fucking hungover, and then you realize you have an interview today, so you have to get ready real quick.
Yeah, resourcefulness, quickness, creativity. That's what it takes.
And some people, it's okay that some people can't handle all that, and there's nothing wrong with that. Some people just can, and I just happen to be one of those that can juggle and multitask and everything.
Yeah,
and still come to a show the next morning if I had brunch.